Okay, you're good.
I'm good? Okay.
You're
Actually,
always
Chapter
good,
5.
Sachi.
I'm sorry?
You're always good, Sachi.
Aw, shut up, you.
Blah.
Chapter 5 is here! It's over. It's done. The finale.
The finale? What?
Chapter 5, author's note. He's coming to end of summer now and Kiki is on holiday with her family. And she will help me later. When she back so chapter will be later. EXO love you Kiki heart emote. Edit. Fuck you, Kiki! I don't need your help anyway, nerd!
What the fuck?
It had been a week since Nathan had started Brand Mind School, and he has begun to become accustomed to its weirdness, in the sort of just let it happen way. This was basically his motto. He had decided to stop fighting and just lie down and take it like the bitch he is. He was okay with this,
Fuck you,
as he
Kirby.
and he found his happy space where he could zone out. It was Corin's panties that he had stolen and now sniffed occasionally. By that I mean he'd sniff it several times a day. He stands like a
God,
panty
Nathan, you're
sniffer,
weird.
Dunny, haha lol weirdo. He'd even gotten used to Aya's various attacks and knew when to expect them and combat them. He was actually quite proud of his pyromancy talent and his ability to set Aya on fire. Fuck you, Nathan. She was
Set her loins on fire.
Oh! She was becoming aware of this, and dare I say, she was becoming apprehensive about her bullying plans. Kirby seemed mostly unfazed by the terror the two were reacting, which wasn't surprising, as she was usually off-planet. Off-planet. At least mentally, if not physically. She had, however, gotten into the habit of carrying around a fire extinguisher to quickly put her friend's orange flames out when Nathan retaliated. It didn't stop her, though, when it really should have. She may have been in top set for everything, but she wasn't all that bright. In fact, neither was Nathan or Kirby. So they were quite possibly in the lowest set. It was hard to tell when people were giraffes or monkeys. I mean, what kind of stupid educational system does that? America! Anyway,
Kirby?
what I mean to say.
How drunk were you when you wrote this?
I was completely sober when I wrote this.
Anyway, what I mean to say is that Nathan was unfortunately doing okay. Sorry, guys and gals and people in between and genderless and all other shits. Nathan had avoided the Alfredo chicken ever since that incident with the succubus. This is you, Kiki, you bitch. No matter how tasty it was, he found that if you ate the bento box without reading the name, you'd live. Huh. Life hacks. Though he found his eyes getting squintier and saying, "Hello now." Play, I think I'm turning Japanese asshole. Even the unicorn poop was tasty, though it gave him lots of gay dreams in the night. So he wasn't sure seeing floating penises in Harlan's jizz face was worth it. When he closed his eyes, he could still see the erect, curved penises exploding cum all over him. Surprise Big Notch. This excited him. After the meal that gave him the exciting gay dreams, he decided to skip the canteen and spend lunch outside. The grounds he found were father pretty. Spring had just begun, and the flowers, like foreskin, were coming out to say peekaboo. The school griffin, Snuggles, had also given birth to a cup about a week prior, who had recently discovered...
Griffin?
Who had recently... Just let it happen, Nathan. There's a school griffin now.
Obviously. What school doesn't have a griffin?
I know, right?
What kind of backwater school did you go to, Nathan? That didn't have a griffin. God.
Who had recently discovered the joys of bimbling and was going wild in the field. Corin was very proud of this baby and had taken it under her unilateral wing, calling it Armageddon. Nathan laughed at the name. It sounded familiar, but he couldn't place where he had heard it. It suited the small, fluffy beast, though. He was glad Army had a suitable owners. Corin had a special way with animals. He wandered further into the grounds and eventually discovered peeking through a bush. He recognized the shade of pink immediately. It belonged to Aya. As he turned the corner, his suspicions were confirmed. She was gazing lovingly at the giant Venus flytrap, feeding it her lunch. Yep, that's me, all right. For the Venus man trap was suitable, as she too was a poisonous bitch who sucked the life out of men. Also lick Kiki. Fuck you, Kiki.
Why are you so mad at Onyx?
Nathan was in two minds whether to approach her, but she lacked her school bag, and therefore her only weapon was her words. And like the rhymes, words could never hurt him. He cried a little, remembering how much they hurt him. Hey, he greeted her, his voice faltering slightly, as though puberty hadn't finished with him yet. Eee! She squealed, falling flat on her plump arse. What are you doing here, you etchy? How am I a pervert? He shrieked back, tired of her accusations. 'Cause you has panties, ya frick. God damn it. She pointed at his semi, eyes wide open. Jesus, Aya. He covered it with his school books. He was clearly flustered, but decided to pass the blame to her. Perhaps if she wasn't so smoking hot, he wouldn't be attracted to her. It was, after all, the girl's fault for the man's actions. Duh.
What?
Who's Aya? She replied, her head tilting to the side. You're Aya. He responded quickly, confused at the statement. Nuh-uh, Baka. I'm Sachi. She croaked and glared at him. You know what? I don't care. He shook his head, unwilling to fight her. He turned to walk away from her, but the sky grew dim as though all the light was being sucked out. The wind blew past them with some ferocity and shook them to their core, almost pushing Nathan down. He went to help Aya up, who for some reason accepted his help. Is not of character, she is damsel hihiro. What? We have to get out of here, he commanded, appearing briefly manly as they ran away. Aya slash Sachi still hadn't let go of his hand, and despite the terror they were in, he smiled. She was the main girl, after all. The darkness followed them, no matter how fast they ran, until everything in front of them stopped existing. Jesus fucking Christ. Shit's getting meta. They turned back, hoping to find another escape route, but found that the flowers around them shriveled and died. the floor around him rotting, till they stood in nothingness. The black void was all that existed now. He didn't know where they were, if he were still at school or had been transported to another plane of existence. One thing was for sure, though. They were still alive. This he was thankful for. I don't know why he lose her.
Fuck you.
Wait, who's talking now? Who's saying the "I found you"? So I can make the. Who's talking? Is it? Who is it, Kirby? Who is it, Kibby?
Kibby.
Yeah, Kibby.
That's her name.
Kibby, who is it? I need to do
Kibby.
the right voice.
Even Alfredo Quinn.
Ah, I found ya! Oh, a voice whispered from around them. It's impossible, Ayachi mumbled, disturbance crawling across. Crawling in face. I think you mean improbable, the voice echoed around, and sounded familiar to Nathan. Where had he heard it before? You're meant to be dead, Ayachi shouted, spinning around in terror, trying to find the voice. We vanquished you. I've been remade, the voice now boomed. Black
I have
liquid
been
emerging.
Born by the darkness.
Black liquid emerging from the ground. It began to take its form until it resembled a figure Nathan knew all too well, the Alfredo Queen. The queen hissed and wasted little time before transforming into her hideous demonic form. She lunged at the two, but Aya pushed Nathan out of the way. Ha! The creature laughed inharmoniously, her voice cracking like fire. You have no power here. You've lost it like all the others. Not yet, shouted Ayachi, a look of determination appearing on her slender face. She moved in front of Nathan, who was on the floor after the push. She put one arm over him protectively while the other fiddled with her gold ribbon brooch that he had never noticed until then. That's impossible! The creature, for once, looked scared. Tsundere power makeup!
What the fuck?
She's a magical tsundere girl now. Amazing. Amazing. And once again, the world was enveloped in light. A strange and beautiful pink light, its eyes closed, stripped away from her. No nudity was seen, though, as red ribbons encased her body. With a small puff and a jingling of a tambourine, she appeared as the light in the darkness. Am I fucking Madoka now? Puff red sleeves rested on her upper arms, gold lace peeking through. Her dress was a halter neck, carrying the team of red and gold, which clashed terribly with her bright pink hair, no longer in tails but buns. Her lips hinted at lip gloss, and he noticed her puffy dress was pads in the breasticles area. He smiled slightly. He was happy she finally got the... He was happy she finally got the breast she desperately needed as the magical grill.
Congrats, Sachi. You have the boobs you always wanted.
Amazing.
You are now the Oppai Senpai.
It was amazing. I am Oppai Senpai now. Is that my magical grill name? That'd be lovely. You should be gone like the others. It's you who should be gone, yokai! What? Ayachi lunged at the inhuman beast, impossibly adorable rapier in hand. With one swift movement, the queen blocked in with her talons. Their faces were so close as they struggled for dominance, they could almost kiss. With the queen's long forked tongue, she playfully licked Aya's nose, but her determination refused to falter even when the sword was overpowered and snapped in half. Ayachi flew back, just managing to avoid the demon's claws, and landed gracefully on her strappy shoes. She was beginning to look a little worse for wear, with her high frilly socks falling down along with her sleeves. She had also managed to lose a glove, but how or where he knew not. He could see the sweat drip off her forehead and her perspiration floating towards him, her usual smell of strawberries and pheromones filling him with determination. And before Ayashi was slaughtered, Nathan decided to actually do something and not just sit around like the pussy her was. Lick you, Kiki, bitch hoe. Hey! He shouted, throwing his yo-yo at the beast.
Yo-yo?
You what? It squealed at a frequency that could have broken glass and began running towards him. Things seemed to slow down for Nathan, who saw his life flashing before his eyes. It didn't take long, as his life had been short and boring. But he saw his friend Harlan and Cora and Daya. He saw her too, and he smiled, managing to ignore the penis weird sex dreams which played his life, and also his secret stash of panties because he wanted to appear heroic in this moment. He smiled and turned to Aya. "Finish it," he whispered, a single tear falling from his cheek as he opened his arms to embrace eternity. He hoped this death wouldn't send him back to high school. Again, lols. Eat it and love it. The queen pinned him down with a kick of her foot, forcibly stuffing it into his mouth. He gagged on it. It was dirty and disgusting and chocking him. He looked at Aya, who had turned to stone, obviously recalling some terrible flashback with tears in his eyes. It was a good thing that feet were on his top list of top 5 fetishes, and a part of him had always dreamed of dying this way. "No!" screamed Daichi, her fists clenched at her side. "No again, hentai yokai!" Her face once again filled with determination. The queen looked at her, her smile faded when she saw what Aya was doing. She was glowing. "Super ultra extra cleansing tamburino!" Her tambourine appeared at her side, which she shook energetically. Screamed her opponent. As the light and skying mystical note hit her, causing her to flake away from existence. "This is impossible!" It squealed and read again, until only its head remained. "You'll see me again." "It's a promise," replied the smaller pink demon. "And I'll be waiting for you, camera." She nodded as the creature finally disappeared, and they returned to the school grounds completely unchanged. Out of the corner of his eyes, he saw a flash of light, and Daichi returned to normal. "Are you going to tell me what happened?" But that's a story for another time. If you actually feel like leaving feedback, you fuckers, are you serious? 80 views and no comments. You guys are all Afro cunts. I love this. This was amazing, Kibby.
Yeah, thank you. Glad.
Wow.
What the fuck just happened?
What do you mean? What the fuck just happened? That was chapter 5. It was beautiful. It was art. It was everything and nothing at the same time. the the rage in the author's note, though.
It was so fucking strong.
It was amazing. I loved it.
So, you happy with your magical girl reveal?
I love it. I love it. Thank you, Kibby.
You're welcome.
It's the best. It's the best thing I could have hoped for. I'm a magical girl now. My dreams have come true.
You're always magical to me, Sachi.
Oh.
Mwah.
So sweet.
Mwah.
Go take that sappiness somewhere else. Get that sappiness out of my face.
Right to the chat.
So, what did you think, Nathan? Did you like it?
That's what I have to say to it.
Wow, you're not gonna say that we're trash, but you love us anyways? It's weird.
At this point, just let it happen, right?
Yeah. See, you're getting it now. Good stuff. Let me go ahead and upload that.